Trying to get everything up. Oh, refreshing. Everything looks okay. Just trying to make sure everything's not in the worst case of scenarios, but there we go. We're dragging this out. Trying to make sure everything is running, streaming. Just trying to check to see if the smoothness, it is a little bit choppy. I'm going to try to fix this up as we just try to get prepared for the start of tonight's match. And it's an interesting one, obviously the first one of the NRL when it comes to the Australia and New Zealand games, you know, actually where it's meant to be. It is, of course, the Sydney Roosters up against the Brisbane Broncos. And this is pretty... It's actually quite an interesting game, obviously. Both teams sort of being on the latter end of each other at the end of last year. Roosters end up making the preliminary final, losing to the Melbourne Storm. It was a bit of a whitewash. Brisbane failing to make the finals after making the grand final, but coming into it, following the trials, it's kind of a complete opposite. Roosters showing a lot of issues, I guess, obviously losing a lot of talent in the off-season, and Brisbane winning the pre-season challenge for the second year in a row. But now, obviously, it now comes into the actual point of the season now, so YouTube is not receiving enough smoothness. Okay, rightio. Just going to try to see if we can figure this one out as we try to get ready for the start. There is a poll, obviously, to see who we think will win this matchup, whether it being the Roosters or the Broncos. I feel like at some point we would end up putting up an eligibility for a draw, but hey, you never know. Seems to be okay. Maybe it just takes a couple of minutes and then we should be all sorted. So looking at the poll currently, there was questions about whether or not this match was going to be affected by in terms of players coming down, with Cyclone Alfred currently set to make landfall, I believe at some point tomorrow. Sorry, this is a really weird angle. Just got to put the phone up. But yeah, obviously very, very scary situation. So everybody is doing well and safe up in the affected areas in like northern New South Wales and southeast Queensland. It's gonna be interesting to see, especially with like tomorrow between South Sydney and the Dolphins. Could be a very, very interesting situation. So there's been a couple of teamless changes. We're just going to keep refreshing just to make sure that the viewing is okay. Is it saying on my stream tab that it's not being as smooth as it could be? I just if anyone's able to, what is it looking like from their end? Because I mean, it could be bad, just don't know. Also, weather could be quite interesting here because it's been bucketing down in Sydney over the last couple of days, being very inconsistent as well. As somebody who is based in Newcastle, it is a bit of a weird situation because we are copying somewhat of like the back end of it, and it's been really inconsistent. There's periods of rain, there's periods of nice. Viewers are experiencing experiencing buffering, and they're saying the stream status is poor. Doesn't look too bad. I mean, it doesn't look. Could be worse, I suppose. I mean, look, I'm not seeing anything wrong going through with Streamlabs. I might need to actually just going to open up YouTube here, so I'm just going to probably have a bit of audio interference in the background, but we're just going to have a quick look and seeing about if there is a possibility that there could be something affecting the stream. Now, Still saying it's smooth. It's just, you don't know. Okay, let's have a quick peek. Okay, let's have a Roosters versus Broncos. Please bear with me if anyone actually is looking at this. But Episode Coruscant as a pundit. That is quite interesting. But I'm just having a quick look to seeing if there is actual like buffering issues with the stream. It is taking a fair bit to load from what I'm looking at, but it's finally started to get to load back up. It's taking actually quite a hot minute, but I don't know. It doesn't look too bad at all. I think it's just being a bit like a little slow somewhat. There is a little bit of buffering. Definitely could be a lot worse. I don't understand why it's saying, oh, it's a poor quality for the stream, but it's guess we just have to push on and deal with it. But yeah, obviously when it comes to the team, we have to go through the team list, and there has been some changes for this, so we can just quickly go through and see what the team list looks like for both sides, which has been an interesting question. So starting off, the fullbacks, usual suspects, James Tedesco for the Roosters and Reece Walsh for the Broncos. On the wings, you've got Daniel Tupou and Dominic Young, and you've got Martin Wangangi-Tawasi and Robert Toya on the centres, Selwyn Cobbo and Jesse Arthurs on the wing for Brisbane, with Dean Mariner and Garamat Shibasaki at centres. Then you're going into the playmakers. You've got Sandon Smith and Chad Townsend as the 5'8" and halfback for the Roosters. And for the Broncos, you've got Ben Hunt and Adam Reynolds, the oldest half pairing, I believe, in NRL history, which is it's a very interesting stat in complete honesty. Like, it's pretty darn good. I mean, to be fair, I feel like it's like also one of those ones that you should be normal to have age somewhat. But anyways, now going into the forwards. Probable props for the Roosters, you've got Lindsay Collins, Connor Watson and Afau White. And for the Broncos, you've got Patrick Carrigan, Corey Pye and Payne Haas. Second row, you've got Angus Crichton, Victor Radley for the Roosters, Jag Gosiowski and Jordan Ricky for the Broncos. Seua Wong comes into lock for the Roosters, is the only change from the team lineups for the Roosters, and Kobe Hetherington named at lock for the Broncos. For the Roosters, you've got Zach Docker, Clay, Blake Steep, Celesi for Turkey, and Taylor Lasalu for the Sydney side on the bench. And for Brisbane, you've got Billy Walters, Corey Jensen, Xavier Willison, and Brendan Piakora. And the injury reserve for both teams should actually have been updated. Just going to quick refresh here, so it should actually pop up with what is the accurate one for the time. Let's just scroll all the way back down now. It is Hugo Savala for the Roosters and Tyson Smoothie for the Broncos. So, pretty interesting teams to say, not going to lie. But I actually remove this because that actually might be like a reason of buffering, because it is like a little bit of a live thing. And this up here, this is a little indicator of how you can watch the games for free, because I do know obviously people looking to try to get the stream, but trying to find a way to watch the games. If you go to 9 now, if you're in Australia, it's an online thing. It's just Channel 9 online, and you just create a free account and you can just watch it from whatever device you fancy. I think there's also an app for it on your phone. So yeah, it's not too bad at all. Looking into the poll now, still 3 votes, and Brisbane with a 2-1 majority. And I also, for this stream, I do have a new thing I want to show, the Z-Tank 99's Match Multi. This is just a multi that I've created. This is an odds paying at the time of making, which was about half an hour ago. It was $30 at Sportsbet, not sponsored. And we've got Broncos win, Shibasaki to score for the Broncos, Reece Walsh to score for the Broncos, and Mark Nawaqanitawase to score for the Roosters. So when over the course of the match, when things happen, we can just say Reece Walsh scores a try. We put that up the tick. So we can try to see if it does actually get up in the end. Yeah, I don't think there's really any. There we go. Stream is excellent now. It's all switched on now. We're all good. I think that might have been the thing, is actually having the view counter in the top corner might have actually been playing a bit of an effect on the actual like smoothness of the stream, which honestly is completely fair. But yeah, this is going to be quite an interesting match. Not going to lie. Like, I want to just going to go into looking into the tipping. In this match, from my tips, I did predict that I believed the Broncos would take this win. I just think that, I think Brisbane are coming down there to make a statement, to really throw their hat into the ring of making the finals this year, obviously from failing to miss them last. So I do think this will be quite an interesting time to being a Roosters fan. And but yeah, it's going to be quite. I've just been looking over at TBC Live, see if I can get some sweet bonus points to to flex and try to make me not sound completely silly. So we're just looking over at the stream. So yeah, it's gonna be quite exciting how this match will play out. I should probably sort the chat into live chat, because that's where the good bit is. Of basically just being able to see everything. But yeah, we've got about 18 minutes remaining until the beginning of this match. I guess I think one of the interesting questions is we could do something along the lines of that, which would be quite cool to do. This would be an interesting question to ask for everyone in here. Leading into the match is quite simply, where will both teams finish for 2025? For me, I think the Broncos should make the finals this year, but I do think that the Roosters might just miss out, because I do think this competition is going to be very close. I see it as really being a last round type beat where they get knocked out. It's just going to be quite a hard thing for them with just the amount of talent they lose. I'm not saying that they can't, because they've got some good young players. You got a decent centres pairing of Robert Toya and Mark Nawaqanitawase. So they're quite good. Like, you can't argue with that at all. It's a really good bit of halves pairing, and it's just absolutely wonderful to see. But yeah, I definitely do think the Broncos have a bit more of a full strength team going into this. We've now, the poll is evened up now, 50-50. I think there's I reckon, yeah, there could be a thing where the Roosters were just sleeping on the Roosters, which in all honesty, I wouldn't be shocked if that was the case. But yeah. But yeah, it's a very exciting and quite funny situations. How many rugby league? If we go into the back into the what the team list is showing, it's going to be interesting to see how Sua Wong goes, because obviously he's been a late change to go in at lock. Initially, it was going to be Nat Butcher, but Butcher has been ruled out of the match quite late out. Interesting to see how Payne Haas goes. He did have quite an injury-affected season in 2024, so this could be the year where he finally gets himself full into peg. And hell, this could be just something to get done, and it'd be brilliant to see. But also one thing I've just seen actually in the broadcast actually is this is the first time the Roosters and Broncos are playing each other at Allianz Stadium. That is actually like quite an interesting thing. It's actually like quite an interesting development, I suppose, because you just have the whole sort of thinking about. I know it's weird. Like you don't really see that many teams playing like especially like Queensland teams playing down in like New South Wales. You don't see that really happening that often. Like just from like as a Knights fan personally, I remember. Well, we used to play the Cowboys twice, a fair bit when I was younger. Now we only play them once, and like 90% of the time, it's up at North Queensland. Like I don't think the Cowboys have played the Knights in Newcastle for no joke almost a decade, but we still play them like every year. So yeah, I don't know. Be nice to see if the Cowboys would come down to Newcastle at some point down the line. Just be quite cool. But yeah, it's a very exciting time. I mean, like, I did quite enjoy Vegas. I mean, it's a bit unfortunate about the women's game that they had. I mean, it was like Australia won, but Australia also just murdered England. And it's actually like a quite serious of a murdering. But quite interesting in here, I'm actually in TBC now in terms of their tipping. And it's showing that it is 89% are in favour of Brisbane winning this match. But the Roosters in this poll are leading. So it's, I don't know, I feel like the Roosters could cause an upset. I don't think it's that too far out in terms of sports bet. I'll just have to have a quick check at that. I should have muted the mic there. That's actually really stupid from me. But yeah, shouldn't be too different. I think it was like the last time I checked, it was like $1.39 to Brisbane and $3 to the Roosters, which is pretty good value if you're a Roosters fan, because I mean, like a fair amount of people do think that they're going to take the win. Just be one that's nice to see. What else in there in terms of the other bets? I mean, Reece Walsh scoring, I mean, he's a very consistent scorer, and I do think if the Broncos were able to take the win from this match, he should be a player to be able to get the job done. Namunganita Tawasi in his second NRL game, he scored in his first one back in the final round of last season against the Bunnies. And Shibasaki, I feel like if any of the bets is going to be the one that absolutely falters me. So, yeah. I need to turn the volume up slightly, but yeah, we're getting close now. We're only about 10 minutes away from the start of rugby league in Australia, which is a lovely thing to see. I'm really good at just chewing up minutes. I don't know if anyone can tell. I'm actually hopeless. Reece Walsh hype package. I mean, he really is one of the top dogs when it comes to the NRL. Just a brilliant player. But Tedesco, I don't know. It's hard to go with Tedesco because he is a player that can switch it on, but I just think he hasn't been that consistent with it. But that is just me. I mean, this could just be the match where he just switches on, which would be, I mean, the big thing. But yeah, especially with like the weather, I just do see Tedesco could be possibly slipping around a lot out there, unfortunately, because one thing that I actually had to explain to me, and because I was thinking, it's like, oh, why does he slip around so much? It's apparently because of his like ankle, his injuries that he's copped, he's tipped to have like shorter studs, which means he does end up slipping over like a lot. However, it does also help him from copping injuries. So that's actually, it's quite smart. Not gonna lie, there's actually quite a smart idea. But it's just, I just feel like with the weather as well, I just feel like, but then I don't know, it depends on how I think the weather will play out, because we could have a situation where it could equalise both teams, but it could be a possibility where Brisbane just end up running away with it. Because I feel like I kind of trust Brisbane more on the wet, but I don't know if any of those beliefs are founded in anything. It just could just be me just chatting absolute bollocks. But I mean, I've never been known, never been a liar, or yeah, I do think Brisbane should be able to get the job done. Yeah, beside Curacao as a pundit, he's actually obviously being injured for tomorrow's match. So basically, they just said defense is going to be a big thing, which unfortunately was shown to be not the greatest thing with the Roosters, especially coming in from the final trial against Newcastle. But it's only trials, doesn't mean anything. So just waiting for it now. Polls still indicating the Roosters leading over the Broncos. This is, I reckon this could be a good match, and that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that this is in fact a good exhibition of rugby league, essentially. And now finally, after this ad break, we should be ready for kickoff. But yeah, they're not really showing any footage of the crowd, so I don't know what the current weather actually is like in Sydney. So the weather could actually be quite bad, for all we know. It's been very in between of raining up in the Hunter, so it could be similar. So just waiting now. This is a waiting game. The waiting game kills. But yeah, I do think that if the Roosters were to win this game, it would have to be their defense that does it, because it can just be, it can cause a lot of problems, because Brisbane, when they're on, they have a really good attack. So yeah. I've also got a little bit of a prediction that I think Victor Radley cops us in bin. Which should be quite exciting if that would end up actually happening. But yeah, oh, KO's now being a bit stop-start here, so just see what's going on there. The stream is stuttering oh, now it's... Yep, there we go. We're almost there. We're almost there to the start of the match. Whew. This will be overly good, and we can just just waiting there for the kickoff. But yeah, if you are people who are looking to watch it, if you are in Australia, this will be the best bet. You just got to go to 9 now, download the app, sign up, create a free account, and then you're sorted. You still have to watch it with ads, but that's, I mean, it's just I guess it's the way to go about it. So we're now almost ready for kickoff, so we'll just quickly go through the team lists one last time for the start of this matchup. So starting with James Tedesco at fullback for the Roosters, who will be with Daniel Tupou and Dominic Young on the wings, with Mark Nawangani-Tawasi and Robert Toya in centres. For Brisbane, Reece Walsh is at fullback, Selwyn Cobbo and Jesse Arthurs on the wing, with Dean Mariner and Jeremiah Shibasaki in the centres. Both teams' playmakers consist of Sandon Smith and Chad Townsend for the Roosters, while Ben Hunt and Adam Reynolds make up the oldest half pairings in NRL history for the Brisbane Broncos. Going into the forward pack now, Lindsay Collins, Connor Watson and Afau White are the proper prop pairing for the Sydney Roosters. Patrick Carrigan, Corey Pye and Payne Haas is the Broncos pairing. Angus Crichton and Victor Radley in the second row for the Roosters, with Seal Wong at lock, Matt Jasiewski, Jordan Ricky in that second row, and Kobe Hetherington for lock for the Brisbane team. Zach Tokaclay, Blake Steep, Celestia Fateki, and Taylor Lasalu as the bench for the Roosters. Billy Walters, Corey Jensen, Xavier Willison, and Brendan Piakora on the bench for the Broncos. Hugo Savala is the injury replacement for the Roosters, and Tyson Smoothy is the replacement for the Broncos. So there we have it. We're just waiting now, just quickly, just to try and possibly get this stream to be working. Of actually the actual KO to watch the game, because yeah, for some reason it's not. The stream has been a little bit inconsistent, a bit jump starty, but there we go. Absolute worst positioning there. But here we go, we're about to be set for kickoff. But he's saying now got 6 votes, and again it's an even split. Can somebody break the deadlock as we go into half time? We're getting quite close. But yeah, it's dead even. Pretty surprising, because I just have the amount of people tipping about how one-sided it has been for Brisbane. It could just be a possibility there for the Roosters. Can they get a bit of an upset after having not the greatest of pre-seasons? Here we go, the Brisbane Broncos now coming out for their first ever time at Allianz Stadium, led by captain Adam Reynolds, who is also with Ben Hunt in the halves pairing. The crowd, it's actually a pretty decent crowd. Weather's been a bit troubling in Sydney, but it's looking to be quite a decent crowd for the weather, despite what it's been. And now we're just waiting for the Sydney Roosters to come out. It's going to be led by... I actually don't even know who the Roosters captain is, actually. Let's have a quick look at this. A quick look at Tedesco. Of course, why would I question that? Of course it'd be Tedesco. There we go, Tedesco now walking out, leading the Roosters team onto Allianz Stadium. This team made the preliminary final last year, and their fans will hope to do one better, making the grand final. Here we go, the Roosters have now come out, and we're getting ready for the first match of rugby league for the NRL in Australia. It's actually a really good crowd here. The weather must have cleared up for the weather, and by the way it is looking, I believe it might be the Broncos kicking off. It does seem like they are. Okay, we're going to end the poll now as we're just about shy of kickoff, and someone has come in and broken the deadlock. It is the Broncos who have taken the lead. And here we go, kickoff, we're underway as Brisbane runs screen left and the Roosters get first possession. And there's the hit up, it's the number 8 of Lindsay Collins who takes the hit up, dragged almost all the way back to the goal line. And it's going to be a knock on by the Roosters. And a bit of argy-bargy straight away, but a huge, perfect start there for Brisbane. It's 10 metres out, scrum feed now, full set of 6 now for the Broncos. Yeah, it's not what the Roosters wanted. Definitely not what they wanted. But a great hit up there by the Broncos. And just like that, they have gotten the result and they've got a scrum feed immediately. Not even a minute in and Brisbane already have a huge chance to score. Broncos will now, from the scrum, spreading it off to the left. And they'll get wrapped up on the 10 now for the first tackle. Now trying to go up the guts. Here it's Patrick Carrigan. 5 minutes away from the try line now, but he's still remaining central in the field. Brisbane try to spread it to the middle here. It's Jordan Ricky taking it up the guts. It's a 6 again now for Brisbane. This will be the first tackle 5 meters out on the left-hand side. So send it more to the middle now. As that, I believe, is Dean Mariner taking the second tackle. Now the Broncos spreading it off to the left again. Good wrap-up tackle there on Goroshevsky. 5 meters out, still third tackle. They'll send it now more into the middle. They're going to keep spreading it out to the right now. Reece Walsh with the first touch. Slipped up and gets brought down. 15 out now. Fourth tackle for the Broncos. And they've gone back about 5 meters here. As it's number 13 of Heverington who's brought down now. Last tackle for the Broncos. Reynolds gets the pass out to Walsh. Pass out to the centre. And it was to Mariner, but the Roosters survive. And it's going to be a changeover 10 minutes in. Inside the 10 metre line. But man, thank God for Roosters fans that they stopped that. Because that's quite nerve-wracking, as that was Daniel Tibber getting the first tackle for the Roosters on the 10 metre line. That's Connor Watson. Taking the second hit up inside of the 20. Now here's Dominic Young getting his first run for the season. Wrapped up inside of the 30 for the third tackles. We're now 2.5 minutes gone in this matchup. A bit of an offload here for the Roosters. That's Tedesco who's ended up with the ball, and he gets brought down on the 30 for the fourth tackle. The Roosters now spreading it off a little bit to the right as White crosses the 40. And this will be the last tackle now for the Roosters. Townsend will now kick it out to the right. And it's going to be taken by Brisbane inside of the 10. It is, of course, Reece Walsh. And it'll get brought down on the 20-metre line for the first tackle for the Roosters. For the Broncos, sorry. But Sell and Cobbo, now, yeah, it is quite slippery out there. A lot of rain has been affecting this in Sydney. And that's a good, decent bit of running there. Now to the 20 still, to the 40, sorry, for the Broncos. Roosters are both teams are starting to get really aggressive tackling. It's trying to spread it up the guts here. Now for the 4, they're spreading it off to the left. Don't go fully all the way, and it's going to be Gasiewski. He gets dragged all the way back past the half now. This will be the last tackle for the Broncos. Reynolds to the high kick to the right-hand side. It's going to be taken by Tupou inside of the 20. And he gets immediately met by Patrick Carrigan, who wraps him up and brought down on the 30 for the first tackle. Now Nawangani getting, I believe, his first hit up now of the match. He's brought on inside of the 40 for the second tackle. Now Dominic Young takes a hit up, pretty much one-upmans really, onto the 40. Still inside the Roosters half now as they're trying to spread it to the left. Crichton will get held up and he'll get brought down inside of the 50. Taking their time here to try to get the ball out. The Roosters just putting a lot of pressure on the inside of the Broncos defensive line. They've crossed halfway now for the last tackle. It's going to be a kick here by Sandon Smith. Place up the air and it's going to be taken by Walsh just past the 10-metre line. And he'll get rubbed out just short of the 20 for the first tackle. And a good defensive tackle there. The Broncos are going to be held back here onto the 20 for the second tackle, as that's the number 4 of Jeremiah Shibasaki, who gets past the just shy of the 30 there for the third tackle. Now the Broncos now just hitting it shy on the 4th is now the number 8 of Patrick Carrigan. Brisbane trying to find a way they can get past halfway, but they just won't, and this will be the last tackle for the Broncos. Reynolds feigns passing, but he goes to boot it. Pressure on Tedesco. He takes the catch, but he's immediately wrapped up by Ben Hunt and brought all the way back inside of the 10 for the first tackle. And now Dominic Young gets held up on the 10-metre line for the second tackle. Now going up to the Broncos now. It's one of those ones where it's quite of an interesting bit of play of the ball. Still doing one-upmans. No real spreading it out at the moment. Crichton gets a bit of an offload off to Sandon Smith, but Roosters being held back. Haven't gone past their 30 yet for the fourth tackle. They'll spread it now more into the middle. They're just trying to find something. They've got space out on the right. If they can get it there, there's still a bit of running, and there's a breakthrough here down the line. It's the number 4 of Toya. Gets it out to Dominic Young. He's running down the right-hand side. It'll go himself, will he? Yes, he will. Just like that, I was saying, it's like, oh, not really a great set, but then they flick it on to the other side. They're pressuring the middle left of the Broncos' defensive line, and then just cut it immediately out to the right, and just Robert Toya with an absolute barnstorming run gets the pass to Dominic Young, and the former night goes over. 4-0 to the Roosters with a kick to come. 7 minutes gone. Just a decent play. Just decent play. I mean, to be fair, you've got probably two of the best players you want to get the ball to on a bit of a line break. It's either Dominic Young or it's James Tedesco. It is just what you want. But yeah, that was a really good effort there, and it's just like that. Try confirmed, and kind of against the run of play for the last 7 minutes, the Roosters get the first try, and it's Dominic Young. Okay, so now we're going to be seeing a kick from the sideline, which will be interesting to see how this does end up getting converted. I believe it should be Townsend or Smith taking this. It's Dominic Young, first try of the season. He scored 20 last year. Just showing how good he is, and just Robert Toya with a great run to bring up the start. Reece Walsh did quite well to try to track back, and then I think he had Shibasaki coming in from the side, and this is the kick by Sandon Smith from the sideline. He curls it, not enough. It hits the post, and it'll remain 4-0 as we've gone past 8 minutes in this match. Just great play. Toya on a debut. It's pretty good. So yeah, that's really weird, especially with, like, for those who haven't seen it, Broncos had the kickoff and they forced the Roosters to knock it on the first tackle, and they just thought with the momentum Brisbane were going to get the first try, but no, Dominic Young getting the first one done there, and this was the kickoff now to restart play. It's going to be a deep kick into the try area, And it's a run from the sideline from Lindsay Collins, who will get brought down inside of the 10 for the first tackle for the Roosters. Now the Roosters trying to go up the guts here. It's Tupou. This is going to be, I think, a consistent thing we're going to see with the Roosters tonight. They're just going to go keep running, pressuring up the guts to open up the wing flanks and then just spread it. So third tackle now. They're just not past the 30 yet. Now it's White who gets the ball. Now just shy of the 40. It's a quick set this is being. Roosters almost spreading it out to their left, but they get past halfway for the last tackle. They're spreading it out to the right, and that's going to be Chad Townsend with the kick. And it'll be taken by Reece Walsh. And Reece Walsh, oh, good legal hit there. It's a good, decent. It's the number 15 there of Siua Wong. It was a late replacement coming into this after Nat Butcher was eliminated. And it is a penalty to the Broncos. As Angus Crichton was offside. So, chance for the Broncos to get some field position. But yeah, Reece Walsh has been slipping over a little bit so far this match. But 9.5 gone. They've got Brisbane with the penalty. And they'll get the ball on halfway for a full set of 6. So we'll see how the Broncos can try to respond. And that's the first hit up there. Very much running here from Lindsay Collins. He's a bit of a chaos goblin. And now Pat Carrigan now gets brought down. Oh, he's bleeding heavily from his cheek there, Lindsay Collins. But Reece Walsh trying to find a gap. He's running sideways. Can't find a gap, but he'll get wrapped up on the 30 now for the third tackle for the Broncos. They're still in the Roosters' half. What will they do here? They'll give it off to Payne Haas, who runs up the guts and will get 10 metres now. 20 out, fourth tackle for the Broncos. They'll try to go up to the middle. And Reynolds to get brought down now. 15 out, last tackle for Brisbane. They'll feed it off to the right-hand side. There's a grubber kick, but just no one going for it. It's picked up by Tedesco inside of the 10 for the first tackle. So yeah, but that's the thing. Roosters were kind of holding him back there, and it's just no one running onto that grubber kick there, but I believe it's by Hunt as well. The Roosters now third tackle. They've only gotten as far as their 20 as Victor Radley tries to go up the guts. Now to Tedesco again. He bumps off a Brisbane player and he'll get brought down now for the last tackle. So Roosters having 2 very quick sets. Just shy of halfway, as that's going to be a kick into the corner by Chad Townsend. And the Broncos will get the ball inside. I believe it's on the 15, I believe. But yeah, it's very honestly surprised the player hasn't come off. Lindsay Collins has come off of the just the amount of blood coming out of his ear. But it's the Broncos now, just showing off right here. Is that another penalty? No, the whistle just randomly going off. The Broncos now inside of their 30 for the second tackle. Carrigan trying to go up the guts here, and they're just shy of the 40 for the third tackle. So it's pretty safe to say the Broncos are able to get the meters going. It's an offload there from Payne Haas. Gets it to Shibasaki. Shibasaki's broken through 2 tackles. And it'll get brought down the Roosters 40 now for the fourth tackle. And a big gap. Massive line break here for the Broncos. And the Roosters line is just all over the place. And there's a Roosters player knocked out. It's Victor Radley. Yeah, I think it's Victor Radley who's just been knocked out here. Because he was not moving. So let's have a look. Oh. It was number 13 of Hetherington breaking through. And it is Radley coming to tackle from behind and Tedesco coming in forward. And the head of Victor Radley just colliding with Tedesco's shoulder. And he's just out. Yep, they're starting to clutch at his neck. This could be quite serious. But yeah, this is not looking good here for Victor Radley. But it would have been the last tackle on the 10 metres out. But yeah, it's a very dangerous situation that has just occurred here for Victor Radley. But yeah, I think by the way it's looking, question is though, who would the Roosters bring in? Would they trigger their injury replacement? Or would they just be going into their bench? Not familiar with the Roosters bench, so I don't really have that much of a clue on who will actually come in. See, I'm kind of... Yes, I'm essentially just kind of confused about what the Roosters would do in this situation. But yeah, time definitely, of course, has stopped. Victor Radley's now back up on the field. He's on his feet, but yeah, he's definitely done for the rest of the match. So yeah, head injury assessment. I'm going to be completely surprised. Doubt if Radley will actually get it, but at least this will give time for the Roosters to reset themselves because their defensive line was completely shot up. About 50 metres off two. So here we go. Last tackle for the Roosters now on the left-hand side. Reynolds with the grubber. Does take a deflection, but Tedesco picks it up. And the Roosters survive another attack. And it's going to be Blake Steep who comes in for the Roosters to replace the number 12 of Victor Radley. And that will be for definitely for the rest of the match. Roosters now still not getting much done. They're only at their 20 for the fourth tackle. It's been a very good defensive set here by Brisbane. It's the number 11 here of Angus Crichton, and he'll only get as far as the 30 for the last tackle. It's just been showing how good this defense has been so far, obviously barring the try. But Brisbane really good in the last couple of minutes of keeping the Roosters back deep in their own half. Long pass out there for Walsh. All the way to the number 5 of Jesse Arthurs, who gets wrapped up on the far left-hand side at the 30-metre line for the first tackle. Shibasaki doesn't get much further for the second. He's still back in the 30, but more central this time. A run at the guts here for, I believe, is Pat Carrigan, who only getting as far as the 40 for the third tackle. As we're now 14 minutes gone in this match between the Roosters and the Broncos. For those wondering, it was a Robert Toya breakaway, passing it to Dominic Young to get the first try. Now the Broncos going down the right-hand side. Now Jesse Arthurs gets the offload, and it's Jeremet Shibasaki who scores. And Brisbane equalise, and the kick will be placed right in front. And it's going to be 6-4 to Brisbane, and I'm a bit excited for this because in the Z-Tanks multi, Jeremet Shibasaki is actually one of the multis, so we can tick that off. Let's go. Now we just need Malonganita Tawasi to score for the Roosters, Reece Walsh to score for the Broncos, and the Broncos to end up taking the win. Let's go. Just a good bit of play. And I've got to... I have to go somewhere and take something, because I said in a Discord server earlier about surely Shibasaki scores for the culture, and he said nope, and I'm just like, don't mess with culture. It's like, I told you, mate, you need to have culture on your side. But there we go. And also it was on TBC as well. So Shibasaki getting a try. Let's go. 15 gone. First try since round 4 2021 for the former Knights player. I don't even know if he even played for the Knights. But I'm actually really happy for that. So there we go. Just need 3 more legs, and the Z-Tank multi, which I didn't actually put any money on, will actually come through. There we go. It's also, yeah, it's one of my TBC predictions was Shibasaki to score at any time. So there you go. We got a dub. Dubs in the chat. So Adam Reynolds now to take the conversion. This to make it 6-4 in favour of the Broncos. There we go. The kick is successful and the Broncos take the lead. And that's just lovely to see. It's sensational. And there's the kickoff to restart the match as the Roosters now take the kickoff, and it'll be in the Brisbane half, as that is Patrick Carrigan taking the first hit up. Yep, so it's a Category 1 for Victor Radley, and it is... unfortunately, it's just means that Victor Radley is now out for this match. Now this will be the last tackle here for the Broncos. They only get past their 40. As you're just showing a lot of footage of their young bench as Brisbane with the last tackle kick. Now 16.5 gone so far through this match. But now we're just waiting to see how the Roosters will respond from this. Not a lot of their players are back. Dominic Young with no support around him as he gets taken all the way back behind the 20 now. Now Nwangani Tawasi gets a hit up for the third tackle, and he get brought down inside of the 30 on the far right-hand side. And now that is a bit of a run there by Toya for the fourth tackle. I've just realised Martin Nwangani kind of looks like an Islander Jerry Seinfeld. I don't know if that's accurate at all, but just an observation. But anyways, that was the last tackle kick by the Roosters as Reece Walsh picks the ball up on the 30 for the first tackles. We're now 18 minutes gone in this matchup. Just showing in terms of field position, Brisbane tackled in opposition half 17 times. Roosters 2, as it's now another penalty now for the Broncos. And it was on their 40, so a deep kick here could give them another chance to add more points to the board. There was a holding down penalty there. So, yeah, it's very unfortunate there for the Roosters. They have given away a couple of penalties so far this match and a few mistakes. So here we go now, the Broncos now first tackle on the Roosters 40. As they're going to go playing going up the guts as Carrigan will get down to the 30 in the Roosters half for the second. Broncos spreading it now to the right-hand side. Walsh does get a pass off. It's a bit risky there towards Mariner. 25 out for the third. And now it's the number 12 of Jordan Ricky. And it's another Roosters player. I think it's Collins again. Looks like he's bleeding from his head instead of this cheek now. Looked a bit forward there by the Broncos, to be honest, as Hetherington gets wrapped up. 15 away from the try line now. This will be the last tackle. Broncos feint go to left. That looked forward, but they've gotten the offload off, and it's a try for Corey Pye. Or Pies, however you pronounce it. But yeah, that did kind of look forward. But unfortunately, because it was awarded a try, they can't call it forward, can they? They can't rule a forward pass from the bunker? We'll just have a look at it. But there we go, just like that. Brisbane 10-4 up with a kick to come. It'll be under the post as well. Big feint there by Corey Pye, who fends it off to Payne Haas, who just flings it right back to him, and just the gap opens up. 10-4 with a kick to come. Yeah, that's actually quite nuts to think about, to be fair. Corey Pye with his 5th try of his NRL career. Just shy of 45. Great, let's go Broncos. Hello, Samuel. Big ups to the Samuel. And yeah, just like that, they just... Yep, ball carrying arm is up in the air. All good there from Payne Haas. And Corey Pye and Jeremy Shibasaki in terms of the first try scorers. And this is the kick right in front for Reynolds, and the kick is good. It is 12 points to 4 now for the Broncos as we enter the second half of the first half. How does that happen? But here we go. We're just waiting now for the kickoff to restart the game. And just ever since Victor Radley's injury, it's just been a bit chaotic. But yeah, I did think it was a bit of a forward pass there. But Broncos now have gotten the ball from the kickoff. And they brought inside the 20 for the first tackle. Now to the second side of the 30 there. I believe Billy Walters has now come on the field for the Broncos. They flung it out to the right-hand side. Reece Walsh is through, and there's so much support. Getting the pass off. What was that? It had to have been a deflection there, but yeah, that is an absolute blown chance by Reece Walsh. He had so much support and waited till the last minute. And it's going to be a penalty to the Roosters. That's a blown try there. Unfortunately, that's just an absolutely blown try. He breaks through the line at the 30, gets to the 40, 50, then cuts off Dean Mariner. And he just can't see the support, and it comes off Tedesco, and Chad Townsend picks it up. But that's blown. That is a blown opportunity. But that's just unbelievable. So first tackle here for the Roosters from this new set. They're down on halfway. Can the Roosters, who've been under the pump for the last couple of minutes, can they find themselves a way to get back into this game slightly? I mean, it's only by 8 points. And as I say it, they've lost the ball and the Broncos get the ball back. Sorry about that, Roosters fans. That's on me. That is very much my fault. Screen went black there for a second, but it looks to be all okay. Set restart here for the Broncos here, as they just get up to halfway. But Broncos looking quite pleased with themselves, and honestly, I'd be as well. Broncos now spreading it down the line now from the second. Now Haas trying to go up the guts here. He gets brought down for the third. 16-20 remaining in this first half. Broncos flinging it out to the right. And it's a kick in the chase here. Dominic Young forcing it back, and it's going to be a goal line dropout. But yeah, just like that, just showing how quickly the Broncos can get themselves into favourable position. It's been pretty pretty darn good from them so far. Whoops, I'm not trying to show anything inconspicuous. I'm just trying to... Oh, so here comes the forced goal line dropout, and it's fallen into the hands of the Broncos. It's Selwyn Cobbo with the ball. So he tries to go up the guards and gets brought down 20 metres away from the first tackle. The Broncos now trying to find a way through as Reece Walsh gets brought down on the 20. Well, past the 10, actually, for the second tackle. I'm getting my numbers all mixed up. Broncos now trying to go more up the middle here, as that is the number 13 of Hetherington. Broncos just trying to find their way there. Flat ball, Carrigan, and it's just too easy for them. It's another try to the Broncos, and it's to the number 11. Just got to pull it up of Jack Gasiowski, who goes over, and it's now 16-4 with a kick to come. It's starting to get a bit unfortunate here so far for the Broncos. No, not well. Why would be unfortunate? It's absolutely brilliant for the Broncos, but it's not going well for the Roosters. It's not looking good at all, as it's another try there for. But yeah, it's just ever since Victor Radley's come off the field, the Roosters are starting to get unfortunately exposed. But just good bit of football there. It's what you want. It's just an unfortunate situation. It's an unfortunate situation for Radley, but just, man. And Adam Reynolds with another conversion now from essentially right in front. This to make it 18-4, and it is with 30 and a half gone. It's gone from really optimistic from the Roosters to really bad. Really bad. And I mean, obviously it's kind of out of their hands, obviously being Victor Radley being injured, but just, man, that's unfortunate. It's just... But yeah, the Broncos now just completely on the... I feel like if you're a Roosters fan, try to just keep the score to this, or even try to get some points on the board as the Carrigan takes a hit up and gets brought down on the 10-metre line for the first tackle, as we are now 13 and a half minutes gone to remain. G'day, Champ. Just subscribe. You see the Roosters being competitive. Thanks, Leo Francis. It's It's hard to say, because the Roosters, they started off really well. They got the try, Dominic Young getting there, but it's so unfortunate with Victor Radley getting injured, and it's just kind of been stopped. Just Broncos just running through. Payne Haas with another line break. Still going. He's putting the steps on as Shibasaki gets brought down 45 away from the try line for the last tackle. But yeah, it's just... I think they'll try to make this competitive, but just by the way it's going with momentum and everything, it's starting to seem unlikely of the Roosters coming back in this. But yeah, we just saw a step by Payne Haas, which is a lovely thing. Just to see 200 more run meters here from the Broncos in comparison to the Sydney Roosters, but they're spreading it out now to the line. Nawangani Tawasi tries to beat a tackle. He gets a pass off and gives it off to Angus Crichton now. 40 away from the try line now. Third tackle. Just about 12 minutes remaining in this first half. Can the Roosters try and get something done? Nawangani Tawasi breaks off 2 tackles, and he'll get brought down 30 away now for the fourth. Roosters need to start going more into the middle here. Number 16 of Blake Steeb, who's come in to replace Radley. Last tackle 25 metres out now for the Roosters. They'll spread it to the right. Townsend with a kick up in the air. It's been... I think it did. That should be a 7-tackle set here, because I believe it did come off the Roosters going forward. And the Broncos will get the ball on the 10 for a 0 tackle. So I think they can make it competitive. But yeah, it's just, I think ever since Radley got HIA'd, it's been a bit quiet as Payne Haas is coming off the field. But yeah, Broncos now bringing in some of their young guns into the side. Fourth tackle, and it's an early kick here by Ben Hunt to the corner, and they're just going to kick it out on the 20, just let them breathe. 11.5 to go, so yeah, don't blame that call at all from them. But yeah, it's just about 6 more sets the Broncos have had. Now I need to actually switch on and just third tackle now for the Broncos as they're now... No, it's penalty to the Roosters. Roosters, if they get a deep enough kick and if they score and make it an 8-point game going into the half, I don't think that's the worst thing for them. Don't think that's the worst thing for them at all. Yeah, I wouldn't be complaining about it at all here. So Roosters pick the ball up on the Broncos 40. It's the number 17 of Celestia Fekete. Roosters now trying to find a gap here. White gets an offload off to Watson. To Crichton. He gets the ball off here. No one to Wasi. Gives it off to Tupou. And Tupou will get brought down 20 metres away from the try line for the... And they're saying it's a knock-on here by the Roosters. But there's discussion here between Tedesco and Townsend. Could there be a challenge? Doesn't look like there will be one. But the Roosters are able to get down to the Broncos half the field. It's just about whether or not they actually do anything with it. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's unfortunately Angus Crichton there did lose the ball in that play. So it will be a scrum feed for the Broncos on their own 30. But yeah, the Broncos now just trying to... If they can get another try here, they could really put themselves with one hand on those 2 points. Going up the guts here, as it looks like another Roosters player. Sewer Wong pulling up a little bit slow to get back into the line as Carrigan try to go up the guts, and they'll get past halfway. They'll be 45 away from the try line now. This is the third tackle. Shibasaki. Yeah, 3 really interesting try scorers here for the Broncos. Shibasaki. Who was it? It was Shibasaki, Corey Pye, and Gosiowski. And now it's an offload up the guts here. That's Willison. Last tackle now for the Broncos. 20 metres out from the try line. They'll feed it off to Reynolds on the right. He goes for a chip and chase. He could go himself with a bounce, but Tedesco catches it. But he'll be tackled in goals, and it'll be a goal line dropout for the Roosters. Their second of the night. But yeah, it's just really good pressure here by the Bronx. It's just what you want. So can the Roosters get the ball from their short kick? They've gone for it. It's gone the 10 metres. Batted backwards, and the Roosters will get the ball. And Tedesco will take it and will get wrapped up inside of the 20 for the first tackle, as we now have 7 minutes 20 remaining in the first half of this clash. Can the Roosters try to get an important points to close it down to an 8-point lead going into the sheds? I feel like it'd be a really successful ending for this half. Third tackle, Roosters only just getting as far as their 30. Oh, it's a bit of a dodgy pass, and that will be counted as a knock-on It'll be a scrum feed for the Broncos 30 out. Anytime I give the Roosters any praise this game, they immediately go and do something wrong. I need to stop giving them credit for stuff. It's like, oh, if they just do this, they'll be done. I really need to stop doing it. So here we go, 35 metres out from the try line. The Broncos will have a full set of 6. They're going all for it here. Shibasaki with the ball as he'll get brought down about 30 metres away from the try line now for the first tackle of this set. Yeah, I don't even think I think honestly, even just keeping it like this wouldn't be the worst thing. It's only 14 points. But can the Broncos try to push through and get more points? Ricky tries to go up the guts and will be brought down 20 away from the try line. So we're now entering the final 6 minutes of this first half. Up the guts again. Corey Jensen now on the field. 10 metres out from the try line. 4th tackle for the Broncos. Carrigan. Flat ball out. Willison loses it. And Connor Watson will pick it up. No, they're calling it a penalty to Brisbane for a strip. Honestly, Tedesco, I might challenge it. Challenge it, lad. Inside the 10-metre penalty against the Roosters right on their try line. So here's a question here. 14 points. Do the Broncos go for 2 or do they go for the try? We've got about 5 minutes left. I reckon go for the try. Try to put as most points on as humanly possible. I just think it's probably like I think it's an option they can do. Nope, it looks like the Broncos are going to go for the extra points, which means successful conversion right from in front will make it a 20-4 lead. But yeah, fair enough. I mean, just take the points as you can, but I reckon you could have gone for the try. And here we go, Reynolds to make this 4 from 4 from the night. And he gets the conversion. It is successful. And it is 20 points to 4 to the Broncos. With now less than 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Okay, that's actually quite interesting. They've just put this thing in the broadcast that the Queensland Premier's given the Broncos permission to fly out of Sydney tonight from Bankstown Airport to Toowoomba, so they end up getting there before the cyclone would hit tomorrow. And here's the kickoff by the Roosters as the Broncos now try to get right up the guts, as that's Jensen who takes the first head up onto the 10 for the first tackle. Then as you're just seeing, 3 minutes now remaining, second tackle. The Broncos reserves trying to just keep it up the guts and just keep the ball moving. As Carrigan now gets brought down just shy of the 40. And it's an early kick. Is it aimed for touch? It'll take a bounce, but Tedesco will pick it up inside of the 10. And he will get wrapped up inside of the 20 for the first tackle for the Roosters. 2 minutes 30 now remaining in this half. Dominic Young now with the ball, who honestly, apart from his try, has not had much of the ball. Like, at all. Hector Banana, the Warriors didn't want Michael Maguire as a coach, and then they went on to coach the New South Wales Blues successfully, and now he's the coach of the Broncos. Oh, and the Warriors didn't want Ivan Cleary as coach. Does seem a bit unfortunate there, Hector. I mean, Webster's still quite good. Don't get me wrong. I think Andrew Webster's still pretty decent. I mean, Last tackle tick here for Townsend as it's another... Oh, batted back there by Tedesco. I think that's an end up a loss. It's a set restart. 10 metres out, Tedesco now with the ball, and he gets brought down 5 metres short of the line here. Now the Roosters have a chance to get points right before half. Early kick on the first tackle by Townsend to Young, and they've gone back about 5 metres. What was the point of that? And it's another 6 more now for the Roosters. 15 out now. First tackle, 90 seconds remaining. Can the Roosters get points on the board before going into the sheds? Okay, second tackle now. They're on the 10. Watson will take the ball into the middle. Townsend gives it off to the number 19 of Taylor Lasalu. 5 metres short of the line now. Third tackle. Townsend gets it off to Tedesco. Goes for the grubber kick. There's pressure. And it's going to be battered back by Jesse Arthurs. And with 30 seconds remaining, I don't think there's going to be much played. But yeah, why did Townsend go for that kick? But yeah, honestly, if anything, I thought it was going to be an argument where you could have said Tedesco lost the ball there, but it did come off the Broncos player. And they will take the goal line drop out. I think you just think the Broncos would just drill it. And they've drilled it out, and it actually counts as bouncing out, so they would have gotten the ball on their 30, so they have one play. Or are the Broncos just going to go into the sheds? No. Yep. That is the end of the first half, and the Broncos kind of sitting comfortably at the moment with a 20-4 lead over the Sydney Roosters. Yeah, big Roosters blow with Radley ruled out after a massive head collision. For those who don't know what had happened, his head just comes in trying to tackle the running away of Kobe Hetherington, and his head just cocks right into the shoulder of James Tedesco, which knocked him out for like a good couple of seconds. Yeah, pretty much ever since that Radley being brought off, Roosters have just been a bit out of it this match. Yeah, I generally do think, they just said Kevin Walters, who's a punter for this match, did just straight up say that he thinks that the Broncos should be even further ahead, and it's like, honestly, don't blame them all. It's just actually a bit ridiculous. Anyways, now we're at the other half. I'm going to go get something quickly to eat. So let's just have a quick look at what the multi is. We just need Broncos to win, Walsh to score, and Awani Tawati to score, and this multi is up, as we had Shibasaki score earlier in the match. A lot of sweat on the back of this chair. I don't know why. I'm just sitting around here being a silly Billy. Yeah. But pretty decent. Yeah, pretty decent half there by the Broncos. So what's everyone's thoughts on this? Does anyone actually have any multis for this match? Let me know what they are. Just drop them off in the chat. We can go through them. Because it's quite interesting. But yeah, it's just unfortunate. I'm sorry if I'm not been that switched on in terms of chatting, but yeah, it's just very hard to try to see how. Yeah, not really too sure what will end up happening for the rest of the half, but yeah, Roosters definitely need to score first. But yeah, it's very hard to tell, especially with But it's just, I did just notice as well. We're in April, and that's the scoreline. They know what they're doing. But yeah, it's just beautiful. It's beautiful, a beautiful bit of play here. It's and that's the thing. Like, so going through in terms of the tries for those who don't know what has happened. So Roosters actually opened the scoreline with Dominic Young benefiting off a Robert Toyer line break, and then after the Victor Radley sin bin, it just started collapsing for the Broncos. Unfortunately. No, he started collapsing for the Roosters. I actually have got mental. Jeremy Shibasaki going over for the Broncos to get their first try. Then followed by Corey Pye, the hooker, and Jack Kaczewski. Just forward packs. Just the Brisbane forward pack being really well so far. But yeah, it's just the Broncos are just going quite well. It's very hard to try to put into words, I suppose. But Broncos just do we have a poll question? I'm trying to think of what I'm saying. I've actually been very boring and terrible so far this stream. I do very much apologise for that. I've just got nothing really much to say. Go for like a little cheeky poll. Oh yeah, this will be a good one. A very important factor in terms of the momentum of this game. It's still only 16 points, so there's a good chance the Roosters could come back. But my poll is for you lot is for the halftime. Who will score first in the second half? Will it be the Roosters or the Broncos? Or heck, could be no one.
He jumps out. So expect him to be prominent in the second half, particularly if the Broncos can get some go forward and continue to maintain that go forward through the middle. That will open up the space for Reece. But the other players around him have started. He's sort of sat back and happy.
But yeah, it's very hard to tell. Broncos, yeah, I mean, honestly, will not silly at all. Honestly, that's very, very solid. Very solid call. It's weird. It's hard to tell what's going to happen with this matchup.
I think, again, get Payne-Haas back on the field as soon as you can. I love the dominance through the middle third of the field. The Roosters on the other side of the field, well, they've 22 missed tackles. So that's the thing they need to fix up. If they can get the defence there about, they do have an attacking threat to go and chase them.
But yeah, it's vote for the Roosters. Just so you know, and I know this has been a bit of a weird time to advertise it because I am not been great at all this stream, but I will be doing the rest of the games for the opening round. We've got tomorrow, we got the Tigers taking on my team, the Newcastle Knights, at 6. And at 8, you've got the Rabbitohs taking on the Dolphins, the second team in Brisbane. Saturday, you've got some tasty matches. You got the Dragons taking on the Bulldogs at 5:30. Then you followed up with the match between the Manly Seagulls and the North Queensland Cowboys. And then on Sunday, we see the Melbourne Storm put on, hopefully, a performance against the Parramatta Eels. Yeah, it's very wild. Unfortunately, it's a bit mental to think about how this match has gone so far. But hopefully, for Roosters fans' sake, they can get themselves back into the match. But yeah, it's just I don't know. I don't know why people are watching this. I've actually been really need to stop focusing on TBC and focus on you, the good people. But yeah, the poll still says we have the Broncos, and honestly, yeah, it's very fair. Very fair that the Broncos should score the first half. I actually fixed up the system here because usually I'd have my phone with KO on one of these little things, a little tripod. But now I've actually got it on an actual monitor because I've now got a Mac, and it works despite being slow as all piss. Works with KO. It's a brilliant thing. Also a little surfboard. This is what you don't get. You don't get this on other channels. You don't get complete another bollocks like you do here. Oh, fuck. That's going to take forever to hang back up. I'm just going to keep that there. But yeah, we're just waiting now for the restart of this match and to see if the Roosters can come back or the Broncos can just put the pain, essentially. Because, honestly, by the way things are going, Roosters need to score straight away from the first half. If not, they're absolutely screwed. But yeah. You never know.
free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
But yeah, it's just still got the one though.
Hey, she looks like you, but prettier.
It's the lighting in that film. I don't know why you're giving me that look.
But yeah, we're getting ready now for the start of the second half.
A 16-point lead, 3 tries to 1 in the opening half. The Roosters, though, got the first try of the game. Brilliant counter-attack from inside their own end. Now, the 3 players on debut tonight, plenty of talent missing, including Sam Walker and Brandon Smith with long-term knee injuries. They'll be back.
Roosters now back out onto the field.
Be a case for the home side, who once again last year made the preliminary final, taken down by the Melbourne Storm. They just had that. Just hang on tight, see what they can do in the first half of the season, and then hope, as they've done in recent years, have a push towards the finals in the second half of the season. Adam Reynolds along with Ben Hunt.
Okay, Broncos now back out onto the field. Just
One of their combination of two 34-year-old longest halves combination at this level of the game since 1996. The Roosters will get us back underway through James Tedesco. Kick goes down to Ben Hunt. Bring it back to the Broncos through Corey Jensen.
But yeah, Broncos have gotten the ball back from the kickoff, and they'll get brought up inside of the 20 for the first tackle.
To Brisbane to get themselves ready, them and their families and all their loved ones for what is promising to be a very tough weekend.
Broncos now trying to just get up through the gut.
Cyclone Alfred, which is working its way towards the coast as we speak.
But just trying to get through the middle here. They get past the 30.
Got some tall timber on the bench at their disposal. The Brisbane Broncos and Michael Maguire. Ben Takura, 207 centimetres, couldn't get a game in the 17 tonight.
And, oh, there's a chance here for the Broncos here. They've just been gotten a knock on against Reece Walsh with a knock on.
There, no suggestion they'll challenge this.
But a bit of a challenge here. Oh, no, it's a hand pop. Yep, I reckon they should challenge this to the Bronx.
They're not going to contest it, so there'll be no challenge. Reece Walsh just taking the last play, trying to get a quick play the ball for the kick from either Hunt or Adam Reynolds. Just spook ball. And we've given Payne Haas was the best player in the opening half. He played 30 minutes. The man not far behind him is still out there. Patrick Carrigan just churning through a powerful, clear, the busiest out of all players on the field with 14 runs.
But yeah, again, the Roosters now trying to gut up the guts here.
One of the first pick for their respective states in Origin football, given no injuries again in 2025. So that's McKinney out there, links up here with Taylor Asala on this right-hand side of the field. Both of them on debut tonight as Watson comes back to
Trying to get the Roosters here, trying to get through the guts here. I do apologise for not paying that much attention, but
Ryan Mariner and also Reynolds. They've got 2 plays remaining. Looking for some rhythm here.
guts here. The Roosters trying to go up the guts here. It's the number 15 of that is Sua Wong. Last tackle, 15 out now for the Roosters. Smith, pass off to Watson, gets it off to Townsend. They're spreading it. They've got numbers if they can. Tedesco, off to the number 11, but they lost ball. And the Broncos will get the ball. That's very, very unfortunate.
Well, there was some good passing on the inside, which included both halves. Sam and Smith just getting rid of the ball out to Tedesco. Angus Crichton knew what he had to do. He had to get the ball around the back of Cobbo.
But here we go now. The Broncos still they've got the ball now. They're on to the second.
And get it around the corner. It was going to be a miracle ball. There was going to be a great pass if it set up a try. Reece Walsh in back play there was struggling a bit.
The Roosters now just trying to figure out a way to break through the line here for the Bronx, and they're just trying ever so slightly. Trying to go up the guts here, down the line. It's a kick over the top. It's fallen to Adam Reynolds, who's just passed it. Just soccer play. That's ridiculous. That is actually ridiculous. How has that happened? So what happens? So Reynolds gets the pass out. Just go out to the wing, and their wing is just a bit ridiculous. And then Reynolds with a second kick, and then Cobbo with the third, and he just picks it up and scores. That's actually quite ridiculous. Oh, well, at least we can end of what happened with the who scored first in the second half. Can end the poll there because we know who did. And Cobbo now goes over. That's just... this is just not looking good at all. It's not what the Roosters wanted. Cobbo gets his first try of the season. But yeah, their defensive line is just absolutely shot to pieces. Absolute curling kick there by Adam Reynolds. And the conversion's successful, and Reynolds is now 5 for 5, 26 points to 4 now. And yeah, Roosters got their heads in their heads, and have just... oh boy, this is not looking good. This is not looking good at all. I don't want to suggest like the worst case scenario. But it's just what ball control there by the Broncos. It's just they're just playing all over them. It's unbelievable. But yeah, it's just Broncos now getting it back, and they just kick it early. That's a massively late hit. Crichton coming in. I'm surprised they haven't taken it back for the ball. Oh my god, the ball just popped out with Tedesco trying to go down, but surely that's got to go back for a penalty. Because Angus Crichton has just absolutely smashed Ben Hunt. Yep, here we go. It's going to get even worse here now for the Roosters, as Angus Crichton's going to get put in the bin here. Just report. So hang on, you can clip a player's legs, but you can absolutely and get sin bin, but you can absolutely batter the bloke, is it? But there we go. Yep, it's a penalty there for the Roosters, not for the Roosters, the Broncos. So 20 metres out now, and a chance for the Broncos to just put even more pain on the Roosters. Just trying to go up their guts here. Running up the guts here, Jensen. Just shy of the line now. 5 minutes away from the try line for the third tackle. They're spreading it out to the right, left. It's Reynolds. Gets a kick. It's a race up the guts. Oh my God. Is that another try? It is. But who's it to? Is it Cobo or Shibasaki? But anyways, the Broncos have scored. And now it is 30-4 with a kick to come. Also just realised KO's not live. Might be a reason what being a bit late, but oh my Lord. What is happening? So let's have a look. The grubber kick comes in. Shibasaki completely misses it. And Cobo then just comes in to do it. So Cobo's got a brace within this a very quick succession. And now it's 30-4 with a kick to come. But yeah, it's just gone all over the shop here for the Roosters. This is where we start thinking, do the Roosters concede 50? I genuinely think this is something that needs to be discussed.
Two tries in the space of 3 minutes basically for Selwyn Cobo. The issues last year during the origin period, Steve Self down for playing for Queensland, games 2 and 3. And put his hand up after the season and said, well, obviously had some mental health issues, took some time out of the game to get himself right.
But yeah, that's just a bit mental to think about. Now, this will be the most difficult kick here for And there's the kick, and it's successful. It's 32-4 to Brisbane. This is not good. But Reynolds, he is just showing how good he is. It's just... But yeah, it's just... I'm just so shocked about how the Broncos have... I know I did say the Broncos would go on to win this game, but not like this. I just thought the Roosters might have had like at least a bit of a chance. And it's another line break now for the Broncos as I've barely turned my head away. And just like that, they're 25 metres away from the try line for the fourth tackle. It's just one-way traffic here for the Bronx. Carrigan now trying to go up the guts and to get brought down. He gets an offload, actually. Pye off to Willison. Willison just short of the line now. Last tackle, couple of metres short. Pikes. Roosters get help. Broncos, he's lost it. Anyways, he tried to reach for it and he lost it. But this is just not good. Roosters now, they're bringing in some players in now. It's number 14 of Docker Clay coming in. Wangi Tawasa gets brought down on the 30 for the second tackle. Upset restart now here for the Roosters. 30 minutes away from the trial line here. The Roosters could score here, which would be knock on. I need to stop giving them credit. I need to stop actually trying to praise him because it just cannot do anything. Captain's challenge here by the Roosters, though.
So loose carry from Taylor. The captain's challenge is unsuccessful.
You had the opportunity to challenge. It's been challenged and it hasn't been successful. That's it. Mate, you've challenged the first 30 months.
It is a fair argument from James Tedesco.
The call of hell has come.
Yes, that's true.
That's all bets are off.
Yes,
If you lose the ball after the call of hell, you've lost the ball.
I did say they were desperate.
Doesn't matter whether it's gone backwards. If he's called hell, the tackle has been completed.
But yeah, anyways, even after that attack, okay, oh, here we go. Payne Haas is now coming into the team. This is just not going well at all.
It just hasn't worked tonight for the Roosters.
Really have wasted some chances.
And here's a second tackle now. Completion rate 88% for the Broncos, 74 for the Roosters. So it's not even that much, but it's just ridiculous. And here's the thing, we've still got 29 minutes remaining in this game. Reece Walsh slips over again. That's like the fourth time he slipped over this match.
During the warm-up at this end of the field, this surface, there'll be an investigation again into this playing surface.
And now the Broncos just going to get held up about 30-40 metres short.
After a bit of a downpour during the early part of the game.
But here we go. Last tackle here for the Broncos. They're 40 out. High boot here by Adam Reynolds. Right into the path for Selwyn Cobbo. That's tipped up by Shibasaki, by Dean Mariner, and it's going to be a knock-on by the Broncos.
And the Roosters will have it at their own end. It hasn't been raining to that extent in Sydney to explain this surface.
Passing showers. That's what I call it. There's been passing showers. And I would say the surface is way too slippery. The amount of, for the little amount of rain that they've had there
They're talking about the amount of yeah, it's interesting. They're talking about there could be an investigation into how wet the field is because there's this corner inside of the current Roosters half. His Roosters now trying to spread it out to their left. Oh, what an offload by Nwangini Tanasi. Tupou with the kick, and he kicks it to the centre. It's going to be picked up by the number 6 of Ben Hunt, who gets brought down inside of the 10 for the first tackle. But yeah, could be an investigation here about how wet it is because it's only been passing rain today in Sydney, which I've seen for the last couple of days. It has been bucketing down, but it said, yeah, it should not be as bad as it is. But there we go. Billy Walters now comes in for Corey Parks. 32 for Brisbane. So anyways, now the Broncos have Payne Haas tries to go up the guts. Trying to find a way to get another try, but the Broncos are still going down the right-hand side. They've got space. They're trying to go themselves. Can't get an offload off. They do. It's battered backwards. The Broncos still have the ball. Ben Hunt flings it off to Shibasaki. Now to Arthurs. Arthurs splits the gap to Shibasaki. No way! Ben Hunt to the corner. That's try of the year. Try of the year. Ben Hunt gets his first try back at the Broncos, and that is one of the best tries you'll ever see. Oh my God.
The Broncos decide to run the ball again on the 5th tackle, and it has burnt the Roosters. Adam Reynolds.
Unbelievable. They just go to last tackle kick. They give the ball off to the number 3, Dean Mariner. Flings it up in the air, batted backwards by Gosiewski, and they switch it off to the left-hand side. Hunt gives it off to Shibasaki, gets it off to Arthurs. Arthurs flicks it back to Shibasaki, then back out to Ben Hunt. That is one of the best tries you will ever see, and it's now 36-4 with the kick to come for the Bronx. But yeah, I think there was a bit of bad defence there by Dom Young. Because he kind of just let through the gap happening so easy, but it's just showing how good the Bronx are. That's an unbelievable try, and this just shows how easy it's been for the Bronx.
You can watch that for some time. The 34-year-old, after 7 seasons with the Dragons, hasn't played in the finals since 2018.
That's just unbelievable. Ben Hunt now with his, I think it's his 86th career try, but that's champagne rugby league there.
Hunt decided to run. Reynolds has decided to run a couple of times. Billy Walters did a great job there to get it out to Hunt. But the work between these three, Arthur, Shibasaki, Ben Hunt, who wraps around, back down the sideline to score the try.
And Reynolds misses the kick, so it'll remain 36-4. Only 14 points away from 50 points scored, and there's 24 and a half minutes remaining. It's very likely.
By 32, and we've got a long way to go in this game. After Trent Robinson said in that week 2 loss in the pre-season against the Knights, that scoreline was just too big. That's not the Roosters giving up 48 points. Given the personnel they had on deck in that second week against the Newcastle Knights, well, 50 is on the cards here, quite obviously, for Brisbane.
There's a kickoff then, once again, by the Roosters. And it's... Broncos get an upload. Shibasaki gets brought down for the first tackle inside of the 10. But yeah, you're just trying to wait now to see. The Roosters are actually holding him back here, to be fair. So they're going okay. Roosters now. Oh my God, the Broncos are through again. Arthur's trying to find the assist to Reece Walsh. This is embarrassing. 40-4 with a kick to come, and it's Reece Walsh who has gone over. And we just got to say this was a bet. Walsh has just now scored. Honestly, we can start tinkering with this one of this actually coming true. Now we just need Nwanga needs a Wasi to score and miss that, and the bet would have hit. This, oh my God. The Roosters are actually getting their bums beaten.
Putting on a show as he always does. Played just the 14 games in 2024 with 3 separate injuries that robbed him of game time. A hand injury
First try for Reece Walsh.
of the season as well. If he plays more than 20 games this season, and Reynolds and Hunt stay fit as Remand comes back, a player we haven't mentioned won't be back until round 10. Well, it's an embarrassment of riches.
It is. You think they can win the comp?
That's been a pretty good thing to do.
And this will be the kick to make it a 42-4 lead. And he's missed it. Alright, so 40-4 with so this team 10 points.
The field's a bit slippery. If this was dry, my God,
If this was a
this might be
Legion
60.
Stadium,
This might be 60 now.
it could be. If it was a Legion Stadium under the roof in perfect dome conditions, this could be anything. A kiss for everybody back in Brisbane. They'll be back up there in the early hours of tomorrow morning. They'll leave the tarmac around about 11 p.m. here in Sydney, straight back to prepare for what will be a very wild, but hopefully safe weekend for everybody in the Northern Rivers of New
And it's a short kickoff here by the Roosters. Great take by the Roosters. Trying to figure out which player that was. I believe it is the number 2 of Daniel Tupou. Honestly, get into the AFL. But yeah, this is starting to get scary.
Giving the Roosters a bit of possession down this end of the field.
And there's a wraparound here. There's a chance here for the Roosters to actually score points. Realistically, we just need Wangani to score, and the bets come through. It's a set restart now as well for the Roosters, so there's a chance that if you got on the bet earlier this match, you would have possibly been on it. Now to the left, pass, almost there for the Roosters now. Second tackle, they're 5 meters short of the line. Passing off to the left, and they finally go over. And Sandon Smith scores. It's now 8 points to 40 with a kick to come. Surely scoring 30 in 20 minutes. Is that possible? Could be. We just need to see one of like the biggest capitulations in rugby league history. So Sandon Smith here to convert his own try. It's only his second try in the NRL. This to make it a 30-point game.
I'm loath to say that they'd be in it, but they'd be closer because Brisbane have been comfortably the best side tonight.
Smith to try and convert his own try. Completion rates have never been the Roosters' strong suit.
And Smith misses. So we'll remain 8 points to 40 with about just under 20 minutes remaining in this matchup. But this is... Can they come back?
At some point, given the attack the Broncos possess, you can't keep giving them chance.
Yeah, but when a side gets to 18 or 16 or 18, which the Brisbane side did pretty quickly after the Roosters scored the opening try, and then it was bang, 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 and all of a sudden it was 18-4. Well, when you do get yourself in good field position, you can't keep turning it over and denying yourself a chance to even it up or get it a little bit closer, and that's what's happened to the Roosters tonight.
4 tries to 1 in this second half. The kick will go down towards Tubo,
But yeah, here comes the kickoff, and there's the play up there. I believe that's Lindsay Collins who's taken the first hit up. He's gone through the trenches, this bloke. But yeah, it's just... It's what can be said. We just need Nwangani to Lasi. I mean... Do I try to trigger fate? I'm going to try triggering fate. His third tackle. I'm going to just say that. I'm triggering fate to see if the Roosters come back. So if the Roosters win, that's why. Fourth tackle now for the Roosters. They're going to go to the left-hand side. As Crichton drags the ball over past halfway. This will be the last tackle now for the Roosters. Off to the left. Smith with a chip and chase. Taken by Walsh. It'll get brought down inside of the 30 for the first tackle.
the Broncos will begin from just outside their own 20.
Oh, and Cobbo's lost the ball here. Big chance here for the Roosters. It's the number 4, Robert Toya. Oh, surely he deserves a try. He's been actually one of the good players for the Roosters this game. It'll be held up, but... Well, Robert was held up. I don't know why they had to go to video ref. He was pretty much held up. So a chance here for the Roosters to get more points on the board.
We're going to see an angle here that will show the ball all that clearly, but it didn't appear that he got close. No, he didn't. Beginning it down.
No, it's unfortunate. He tried to get in close, but we're looking for the other centre to score to probably get this the Z-Tank match multi to come through.
Certainly, someone hit Cobbo with enough force to jolt the ball out of his hand.
Based on the on-field decision of held up, we'll be supporting that decision. Do you have a decision?
So it'll be 0 tackle. So it will be 7 tackle set here for the Roosters. Toya just wants to score. As that is now Angus Crichton who takes a hit up now for the first tackle inside, just on the left hand side inside the 10. Spread it now more into the middle, as that is the number 9 of Connor Watson. Townsend trying to spring it out to Tedesco. And Tedesco gets held up at the 10 again now. Third tackle for the Roosters. Trying to spread it now into the middle. They're probably going to attack the left-hand side here for the fourth. They're the one that go up the guts. Number 14 there of Docker Clay. Just short of the line now. Last tackle. He's lost the ball then. No, it's a penalty. Slow to release penalty. So the Roosters have another set. And the Roosters now go to the left-hand side. Nawangani trying to get over. 5 metres away from the try line now. First tackle. And it's another penalty. Should be in a bin here. Here's the thing, though. There should be, but no, is it a penalty? I heard the whistle go. But no, it's still the first. But yeah, they need to be careful here because Roosters could get a player advantage here. But I mean, it's probably too late, but you never know. And now the Roosters, now they're going to flick it out to the right. And it's Robbie Toya, who's just short of the line again. Metre short of the line, our third tackle on the right-hand side. The Roosters now. Townsend gets hit by Haas. And it's another 6 again here. And it's a penalty for an offside. That's like 3 or 4 penalties the Roosters have gotten in quick succession. I'm surprised no one's gone in the bin yet. Tedesco gets brought down now. 5 metres away from the try line for, again, the first tackle for the Roosters. Connor Watson gets an offload off to Docker Clay. And Docker Clay gets wrapped up by Payne Haas, the Woodbury Warrior himself. 16 minutes left in this matchup. They're flinging it out. Nawangani flings it forward. And the Broncos almost breaking through there. And this will be the 0 tackle now on the 30. Oh, Cobbo. Cobbo breaking in tackles everywhere he goes. Gets to their 40 for the first tackle. 15.5 now remaining in this matchup. In what has been a dominant display by the Broncos, as they will take the less results of the for and against change, will take the top of the table. Now Carrigan goes up the guts. It'll get brought down 45 metres away from the try line now for the fourth tackle. Run up the guts here by Walters. And he'll get brought down 30 away from the try line now. Last tackle for the Bronx. Reynolds now with the kick and chase. Bit of a jockey and it's a push. And Nawangani ends up tackled in the goal. So it'll be a goal line dropout for the Roosters. And there is, they just drilled it. They're not even attempting the short kick. And it will bounce 55 metres as the number 16 here of Willison. Second tackle, 45 away from the try line. Again, it's Haas on his back, as that is the number 5 of Arthur's. Just shy of the 30-metre line for the third tackle. Now Shibasaki. He gets brought down 25 short of the line now for the fourth tackle. Can the Broncos get another try here? Haas is just getting on a run. He's taken on. I think he's fended off half the team here. They're going off to the right. Walsh. And they've given it off to Cobbo. That's a great wrap-up tackle. And I'm fairly certain Selvin Cobbo actually... his foot was actually on the line here. They batted it backwards. They've flung it out to Jesse Arthurs. This is just how good Brisbane have been. It's 44-8 with a kick to come. Roosters about to be... But yeah, Cobbo just... Yeah, his foot's not even on the line. Angus actually clubs up this. Yep. Literally, like, Cobbo's line was like that shy away from the line. And, like, Crichton was trying to push the fibres into the line. But yeah, Jesse Arthur's going over. 44 points to 8. With 12.5 to go. Just a converted try now needed for the Roosters to have 50 put on them in the first round. This is just an unbelievable effort. This, I just don't know what to say, unfortunately. Michael Maguire, yeah. Jesse Arthurs now with his 1 try, 2 try assists tonight. That's a pretty good effort for him. That'll be kick off the sideline now to make it a 46-8 game. It's just... There's a kick now from the sideline for Adam Reynolds. He kicks. It curls. It's a beautiful kick. And it's 46-8. Just under 12 remaining. 1 try needed. And the Sydney Roosters would have conceded 50. They conceded... It's very close. They conceded 42 points in the last trial against the Knights. But, man, this is not what I expected at all. And it's a short attempt of a kickoff there by the Roosters. And Broncos have ended up with it on the halfway for the first tackle. And now Gosiewski gets brought down on halfway for the first tackle. 11.5 now remaining in this matchup. But can the Broncos get 50 points? Jordan Ricky now 45 away from the try line now. Pat Carrigan getting brought down on the 40. Yeah, obviously the thing about the moniker about the 50 points, no team has won the grand final after conceding 50 points in the regular season. Held by the Knights in 2001 when they conceded 49 against the Cronulla Sharks. And it's a penalty here for the Broncos after a high shot by Lindsay Collins. And Reynolds is asking for the ball here. Is he going to go for the 2? It's a bit much for a high shot. They're running for it. 20 metres out from the try line now. First tackle. They're going to spread it off now to the left. Haas. Shibasaki gets wrapped up. 20 metres out now. Second tackle. Ben Hunt just trying to find a gap himself. He almost broke through, to be fair. Gets a pass off there for Walters. Now to Reynolds. Reynolds trying to find a gap for himself. They're passing it around. Gosiewski, back to Haas. They've gone about 10 metres backwards. Haas gets the offload off to Shibasaki. And Shibasaki finally gets brought down. 15 away from the try line now. Third tackle as we are about to enter the final 10 minutes of this matchup. Mercifully here for the Roosters. Reynolds to Walsh. To Mariner to Cobbo. That's 50. And Selwyn Cobbo has a hat trick. And oh boy. Oh boy. This. Sheesh. Bollocks. That's so. Oh. Selwyn Cobbo with his 6th career hat trick. As we got to talk about this. Might just make a little quick little TikTok. First-hand embarrassment, I think that was. And the conversion is missed. So 8 minutes 20 remaining in this matchup. 50 points to 8.
Are the Broncos really good or the Roosters just awful? Riley's been back for like 80 minutes. Like, come on.
Selwyn Cobbo, 3 tries already to get off the mark in 2025. Tomorrow night, the action will continue here on Fox League.
But yeah, that's just ridiculous.
West Tiger after 4 straight premierships for the Penrith Panthers.
And there's the Carrigan now getting to the ball as we go 8 minutes, mercifully 8 minutes remaining.
Climb out of the cellar this season, and then following that, a game that will have plenty of emotion for the Dolphins in particular when they take on the Rabbitohs.
But yeah, this is just ridiculous.
Bank Stadium, you see them both live right here on Fox League.
This is I don't know what to say. I've been really bad this stream, but what can you say about this situation? Like, it's just unfathomable. And Tedesco takes the catch inside the goal, and it'll be the a 20-minute restart and a 7-tackle set. WSN being here for Piakora. Yep, so Piakora now will be in the bin. So the Broncos will be down to 12 after it was a penalty. It was a playback for a play on, and the immediately tackles Tedesco, who was trying to run through. So Brendan Piakora now in the bin. So less than 7 minutes now remaining. Roosters now have a chance. Shibasaki looks to be a little bit hurt. But can the Roosters... I'd like to see Robert Toya score. He's been actually quite good this game. But yeah, Roosters now trying to just find a way to get at least a little bit of embarrassment taken away from them. Passing it out to Toya. Doesn't pass to Young, but Toya gets brought down on the 10. Now 4th tackle. Trying to get the